Good morning. It is extremely early. It is 20 to 6 and I'm just at the station waiting for a train. Today I'm going to go with Lynn to the dressage regionals. If you've watched for a while, Lynn is the woman who has the big grey horse who I went out with a lot at competitions and hacking. She is the one who was with me the day that I fell off Woody after that fun ride. She's amazing and we love her and I'm really excited to see how she does. She's been on a bit of a winning streak lately, so hopefully it carries on for her. Good morning, my angel. Hi. Good morning. I gave you a bath yesterday. Look at the state of you. Hello. So Lynn picked me up from the train station. We've just arrived at the yard. It's about 20 past 7. So Lynn's getting Lyric ready and platting up and everything. And I'm going to go and pick the Turnout pen while I'm here. We're going to the Petplan regionals. So I don't know all of the types of things that BD does, but I do know that there's several different like festivals, and Lynn is doing the novice class, so it's really exciting. We used to go out together quite a lot. You've probably seen some old vlogs and stuff. Hopefully we shall go out again together, but in the meantime it's really nice to watch her and Lyric do really well. But I did want to update you. I had a bit of a not a scare, but yesterday Woody had physio treatment, and our physio often works directly with our vet, and she thought that he looked, oh hang on, I can't do it with that arm, I shouldn't be using the wrist at all, should I? And she thought that Woody looked lame on trot up, which we actually thought he hadn't been, and so I got a little bit worried because I thought that meant, you know, he'd gone backwards. And so luckily my vet was actually coming to the yard anyway, so we had a quick look on trot up in the school and on the hard, and actually she said that she thought he looked fine in the same. But you know, September is still looming and there's still that very real possibility that we do the MRI in September and he still needs to be turned away for 6 to 12 months. And I hear many stories from people that I know personally and from you guys who have been really helpful in sharing your own stories, that actually turning a horse away for 6 to 12 months can do wonders. And actually I had somebody who's from Norway reach out and ask me what turning away means, because sometimes there's a bit of a language discrepancy. So when you turn a horse away, it essentially means that they are not in ridden work, and typically turning away is associated with putting a horse in a field and just kind of letting them rest. So it would be 6 to 12 months of that. Whether or not we would do 24/7 turnout with Woody is you know, to be discussed, and whether we even need to get to that point, or whether actually sometime in the stable to give him a rest is what he needs. But it's, you know, it's all on the table, and I'm hoping that we won't get to that point. But if that is what he needs, that kind of rest, then we will of course do it. Right, let's do this Turnout pen. And if any of you are doctors, maybe skip this bit. I've been told by many friends that I shouldn't be using my wrist, but I'm only doing a little bit. Let's get going. I'm just here filling up this. So there's no like running water in Woody's Turnout pen, so I have to fill it up. But obviously with my arms can't carry 2 buckets. So my ingenious solution is to fill up one of these and then to put some extra water in the wheelbarrow and then take it down there. We will see. Alright, well, mission accomplished, I guess. Bucket's out here, Hannah's going to put it in there later. Midnight's out here at the moment. Everyone else is looking happy. Right, let's go and see how Lynn's getting on with her plaiting. Are you ready? Looking very handsome. We've just arrived. There's music test going on over there. Lynn's just getting warmed up. I'm on my way to get some coffee and then she'll be getting ready. So this is us heading over to the warm-up. So this is Lynn in the warm-up, and then of course we headed over for her test, which is when she has her jacket on. So with the test over, we untacked Lyric, gave him a wash off, took his plaits out, and then it was time to head back to the yard for our summer party. So it's the next day and I'm just walking to the yard from the bus stop, hopefully for the last time. I have a meeting, I say a meeting, I've got an appointment tomorrow at the fracture clinic with our lovely NHS to hopefully get this removed so I can drive again. But I have to say, much as it's a little bit of a pain, walking this last 1.5 miles to the yard every sort of few days has actually been very pleasant. So I have never once met anyone on this path. I saw a deer once and that was it. But it just so happens that today there appears to be some sort of marathon going on this particular footpath, which runs, I think, I don't know how far it runs, but I think it's pretty long. So there's lots of like very exhausted looking marathon runners coming through. But it's hot today, it's like 27 degrees. And I actually managed to be stung by a wasp earlier. So I don't think that my career as a hiker so far is going incredibly well. But I do have my boots on today because I am finding with the one arm, particularly when we're walking in the school and we're doing our hand walking, that it's a little bit tough actually. I feel a bit lopsided, so this is hopefully going to give me a bit of grip. And also all the sand seeps through my trainers, so it's not a particularly pleasant experience. But yeah, yesterday went really well. Lynn, she came 9th in the class. I think there was 13 in her class, and it was her first Petplan Area Festival, so she wanted to come in the top 10. So she was really pleased. So yeah, we're just heading up to the yard. We've got about a mile to go. And then we're going to hand walk Woody, and I will give you the update on him once we get there. I'm going to turn this off now because 1, I'm walking uphill and I'm not that fit, to be fair. And 2, I am so clumsy that I'm worried I'm going to trip over a root whilst I'm talking to you, and we're so close. I don't want to risk anything, but I will see you at the yard. Right, made it to the yard. There he is. Oh dear, Woody. What have you done? Have you been breaking your stable again? He sometimes argues. Hello. He sometimes argues with the mare next door, which you'd never believe if you looked at him, but him and hats, honestly, always trying to take my hat off. No. But it looks like he's taking a bit of the stable out. Not ideal, is it? Hello. Want to have a little bath? I think I want a bath. Let's cool you down and then let's do walking. Sound good? Sound like a plan? Yes, I think so. What you looking for? Oh, thank you. He's very gentle when he needs to be, aren't you? Good boy, aren't you? Oh, thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. Okay. I'm just going to pause there because what I couldn't see from my side, but what I saw a couple of seconds later, was that Woody had actually massively cut up his nose, obviously somewhere in the stable, presumably something to do with him kicking that panel out. So I'm going to show you a picture of the wound, and then I'm going to show you how I actually cleaned it up, because why not make this an educational experience? This is the picture I took from my yard manager. You can see the wound. It looks nasty because there's a little bit of blood, but actually it's not really. It's just a graze. It hasn't really gone very deep. So I'm going to firstly clean it out with water and cotton wool, and then I'm going to put Tiffin pomade on it, which is from Audevard, and it is a cream specifically for covering up these types of cuts. So let me show you that. Oh my God. You just ate it. Ah yes, classic Woody, eating the cotton wool I'm using to clean up his wound. Thank you for making everything a joyful experience, Woody. Stop it. Don't eat it. No, Woody. Woody, it's such a silly pony. I know. So once that was all clean and covered, I gave Woody a quick groom, so starting out with the rubber curry comb as normal and then moving on to the plastic curry comb before we did our in-hand walking. You would never believe that this horse had a bath 2 days ago, would you? Absolutely ridiculous how dirty he gets. So as I've mentioned, this was week 1 of in-hand walking, where we were supposed to be doing between 5 and 10 minutes a day. So on day 1 we did 5 minutes, on day 2 we did 7 minutes, on day 3 we did 10 minutes, and for the 4th day today I knocked it back down to 5 minutes, 1 because it was really warm, and 2 because the vet had said do between 3 and 4 days for the first week. So I thought, okay, well, we'll do 4 days, but we'll keep it pretty light. So as you can see, we've kind of done a mix of hard surface and in the school, and when my arm is better we will bring in the road as well. So we're almost finished, but before I finish this video I wanted to show you this article from the May edition of Horse and Hound. So it was from May the 5th, this is what the cover looks like, and it's all about fractured feet and pedal bone fractures. And they have this whole section on what type of fracture you've got, and actually my vet, or the person who did the MRI, didn't say what type of fracture he had, but I think based on some of the language that it might be a type 1, because they talked about the plantar process, I think, being affected. But Woody's obviously was the side bone that fractured, and then the fracture carried on down through the pedal bone. So I guess in that sense it's not a traditional pedal bone fracture. I'm not really sure, but anyway, it was just some interesting conversations around like diagnosis, how they find it, and then treatment. And I thought maybe it's worth just reading you the conclusion. Long-term prognosis. In summary, fractures of the pedal bone, although relatively common and in many cases managed with minimal intervention, can have serious consequences for long-term soundness. Treatment and prognosis is based primarily on the fracture configuration, with accurate alignment of the joint surface of the DIP joint of vital importance in cases of articular fractures where the athletic performance of the horse is to be maintained. So I don't know that it totally helped me understand the fracture more, but if you are interested in pedal bone fractures, this is the Horse and Hound article. And I guess that slightly woolly conclusion of like, oh, it might be okay, but it might not, is a little bit where we're at with Woody at the moment. Is like, no one really knows how far we're gonna go. But I think this is the case with many injuries, isn't it? Like, you get to a point where you bring them back into work if you're lucky enough to do that, and then you just sort of have to see how much work they can actually manage. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this week's video. One thing to note is that next week I have the absolute pleasure of vlogging for Horse and Country again. This time I'm going to Hartpury International Horse Trials. It'll be my first time at the horse trials there. I vlogged recently for them at Barbary Horse Trials, and you can watch that on their channel, or I'll put it up here. Part 1, the cross country day, will be on their channel, and part 2, the show jumping, will be on my channel, although I'm not sure if it's going to be next week's video, but I am going to do my best to give you a video next week as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.